भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भक्तेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं। चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापणं श्रेयः कैरव चन्द्रिकां वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुदीवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनं। नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पित नियमित स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवं ईदृशं विहाजनेनानुरागः। तृणादपि स्मिच्छेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानेन मानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि। न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीश कामहे। मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि। नन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवाम्बुधो। कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूळि सदृशं विचिन्तये। नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदरुद्धया गिरा। पुलकैर्निचित्तं वपुः कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति। युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृषायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे। आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनस्तु माम् अदर्शनान् मर्महतां करोतु वा। यथा तथा वादिततातूलं पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सहीव न परः मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सहीव न परः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण। श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुदेवं। Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees. Today's class will be in English. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto, second Canto, third chapter, text number 13. शौनक उवाच इत्यभिव्याहृतं राजा निशम्य भरतर्षभः किम् अन्यत् पृष्टवान् भूयो वैयासकीम् ऋषिं कविं। Word to word meaning. Shaunaka uvacha. Shaunaka said, iti thus, abhivyaritham, all that was spoken, Raja, the king, Vishamya, by hearing, Bharatarashabha, Maharaj Parikshit, Kim what, Anyat, more, Prishtavan, did he inquire from him, Bhuyaha, again, Vyasakim, unto the son of Vyasadeva, Rishim, one who is well versed, Kavim, poet, poetic. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Shaunaka said, the son of Vyasadeva, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, was a highly learned sage and was able to describe things in a poetic manner. What did Maharaj Parikshit again inquire from him after hearing all that he had said? Hare Krishna. So, we have seen in the beginning Parikshit Maharaj. He made inquiries from Shukadeva Goswami. What were those two questions that Parikshit asked? First question, Very important. What is the duty of a person who is about to die? First question. Second question is similar. And what is the duty of everyone else in all circumstances? What is their duty? So these were the two questions. And Shukamuni explained everything. That one has to hear Shruttavya, Kirtitavyascha, Smartavyascha. Three things. One has to hear, one has to glorify, and one has to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. So this is actually the duty of everyone, whether somebody is about to die or otherwise also. Everyone must engage in this Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Particularly Shukamuni said 4 points. First is one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death. When can a person be bold enough? Only if he has proper knowledge. Which knowledge? This academic knowledge, college, school, college, no use. Material knowledge won't help. Spiritual knowledge, that we are soul. For soul there is no birth and there is no death. All this knowledge is there, is realized knowledge. Then one will be bold enough not to be afraid of death. So first point, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death. Second is, one should cut off all attachment to this body and everything pertaining to it. One should cut off all attachment to this body because one day this body is going to turn into these three things. This body is surely going to turn into these three things. One of the three things. If it is eaten by some animal, bird, then it becomes stool of that animal. And if it is burned, it will become ash. And if they bury the body, it becomes soil, earth. So one of these three things it is going to become, definitely. So one should cut off all attachment to this body and everything pertaining to it. Third point. And everything pertaining to it means family, property, all big illusion. See, when a child is born, say a son is born, he gets into that body and is born. Soul accepts the body, that is known as birth. When the soul leaves the body, death. So when he accepts his birth, the boy is born, slowly he begins to understand, this is my mother, this is my father. And all slowly, and then he'll gradually understand that he is the only son. So all his property belongs to me. All it is manogatan. Actually nothing belongs to anybody. Everything belongs to the Lord. Ishyavasyam idam sarvam. Sarva loka maheshwar. Out of ignorance, one begins to think that, oh, I am the proprietor of this. So we'll remember those 5 kind of ignorance that Lord Brahma puts on the conditioned souls. First is self-deception, that we are soul, that we forget that. We are made to forget we are soul. First, ignorance. Second, bodily conception. In whichever body we are residing now, the soul, we begin to think that we are this body. I am man, I am woman, I am animal, I am bird, dog, cat, all same bodily conception. Second. Third is anger due to frustration. Third, ignorance. Anger due to frustration. And the fourth one, sense of proprietorship. It's all mine. Nothing belongs to us. Naked we come, naked we go. Finished. Nothing belongs to anybody. Everything is the Lord's property. So this sense of proprietorship is the fourth ignorance. And the fifth one, sense of death. I will die. Soul never dies, but still they think that we'll die. So this is ignorance, high kind of ignorance. So this way, one becomes attached to the body and everything pertaining to it, family, property. So Shukamuni is saying, first point, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death. Second is, one should cut off all attachment to this body. Third, pertaining to it, family, property, everything one should cut off attachment. Three things. Fourth is, and desires thereof. And desires thereof means material desires connected to this body. Calm, one should give up all this. Okay. Further, Shukamuni explained, their jivas have desires. The soul desires, material nature facilitates, and Paramatma, super soul, sanctions. Now, the soul is desiring so many things it will desire. Now, to fulfill those desires, Shukamuni has mentioned that you worship this demigod, that demigod, want to become a very powerful king, an emperor. All right, do this. Want beautiful wife, all right, worship this demigod. Everything list only we went through. And somebody wants to merge in that Brahma Jyoti, all right, worship Brahma. Finally, Shukamuni said, and those who have no material desires, they should worship Vishnu. Then after that, there was another very important verse, 2.3.10, wherein Shukamuni is saying, Akama, Sarvakam, Mokshakam, Udharati, Tivrena, Bhakti Yogena, Yajeta Purusham Param. We discussed this 2-3 days back on, continuous. Akama means no desire, best that is. All the residents of Vaikuntha are all Akama devotees. No desires, no material desires. Impossible. So they are all Akama Bhakt. And in this world, everybody is Kama. Even those who want liberation, to end miseries, there is some desire there. That also comes under Kama. And even those 4 kinds of devotees, Artho, Jijnasur, Artharthi, Jnani, Chabartarshava, they are also with the desire. They are not pure devotees. They are with the desires. So Prabhupada has pointed out there the difference between worshipping Krishna to fulfill material desires and worshipping demigods, small demigods, to fulfill material desires. Gita verse Prabhupada has quoted there, 7.20. Hrita Jnana means less intelligent, one whose knowledge is stolen. They will worship demigods to fulfill kamastaste hritajnana prapadyante anya devata. They will worship demigods. But here, to fulfill material desires also, those who worship Krishna, they are known as Udaradihi, broader sense of understanding. Difference is, there they will worship those demigods, and demigods are not independent. They will give whatever Krishna only sanctions. They can't do anything on their own. So even if that they get their desires fulfilled, but they don't get this understanding, spiritual understanding they don't get there. But by worshipping Krishna to fulfill material desires, Krishna may sanction, desires may be fulfilled. But along with those, Krishna gives the knowledge that all this is temporary. Nothing is permanent. Everything will come and go, whether it is happiness or distress. Temporary. In a verse in the Gita, Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkataha agama payino anityas tam titikshasva bharata. The pleasure and pain one experiences by sparsh. Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Shitoshna. Shita means cold weather. Now it was again cold today morning. Shita and Ushna becomes very hot. Shitoshna, Sukha Dukkha Daha. Now when the weather is very cold, if somebody switches on the fan, that same fan will give us misery. We will shout, we will yell, who put this fan? Switch it off. But when the weather is hot, same fan giving us pleasure, got relief. Same fan is giving pleasure, is giving pain also. So this agama payino, shitoshna sukha dukkha daha, they give pleasure and pain, sukha dukkha daha, agama payino. So nothing is permanent. Everything comes and goes. Some months back, heavy rains. We all experienced every day practically it was raining. The rains have stopped. Weather is cold. Now it has become less. Few more days it will become very hot. So this is continuously changing. Comes and goes. Agama payino anityas. Everything is temporary. So what we should do? Tam titikshasva bharata. One should learn to tolerate all these things. So, intelligent persons, udaradihi, they will worship demigods, or they will worship Krishna to fulfill material desires. And they get that knowledge and understand that this is all temporary. So important word was there, akama, sarvakam, mokshakam. Even those who want to merge into the Brahma Jyoti, if they worship Krishna, gradually they will come to the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That verse in the Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Jnanavam Mam Prapadyate, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. After many births, after many births, means what? Many deaths. To take birth, we have to die first. After many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, Finally, this Jnanavan, Nirakar, Jnanavan, Mam Prapaddati, they understand that Vasudevam Sarvam Iti, Samahatma Sudurlabha, Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramakaha, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriya, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Parantapa, Vasudeva Parodharmo, Vasudeva Paragati. So these two verses which I recited now, they are from Bhagavad. Finally they come to understand it. Vasudeva Krishna, he is everything. Not that everything is Krishna now. Again, that mistake we should not make. Everything is his energy. And for everything, the goal is Krishna, Vasudeva. Okay? So this understanding one develops by worshipping Krishna even to fulfill material desires. Even to the extent of merging into Brahmajyoti. They will come to this understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Akama, Sarvakam, Mokshakam, Udaradihi, broad understanding, Brodaradi. Tivrena, Tivra, intense. So Prabhupada has quoted in the verse, purport, about sunshine, which I discussed past 2 days. Now if you go outside, the sunshine is there, but it is not Tivra. It is not intense. But at 12 noon or 1 p.m., the sunshine becomes very strong. That is known as Tivra. Strong. All right. Understood. But what has that got to do with Bhakti Yogena, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena? This example, what it has got to do with Bhakti? So Prabhupada has clarified this example that when it is mixed with jnana and karma, it is not Tivra. Just like the sunshine, when it is interrupted by clouds, it is not Tivra. But when these two have been eliminated, jnana and karma. Which jnana? Impersonal. Knowledge leading to impersonalism. And karma. Karma pertains to fruitive activities. Jnana karmadi anavritam. So in the beginning, devotees will be like this. Jnana mishrita bhakta. Karma mishrita bhakta. So when they gradually become freed from even this jnana and karma, that bhakti becomes tivrena. When the sunshine is no more interrupted by cloud, it becomes tivrena. Such a nice classic example Prabhupada has given, so that we can understand. So one has to worship Krishna tivrena, bhakti yogena, not other yoga, bhakti yogena. Yajeta purusham param. Why this bhakti yogena always? Because bhakti yoga is the topmost. Krishna himself concludes in the Bhagavad Gita 6.42, I think. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate umam same yuktatamo mataha. Of all different kinds of yogis, he is the topmost who is engaged in devotional service. So it is 6.47, not 42, 6.47. Yoginam api sarvesham, of all different kinds of yogi, mad gatena antaratmana, those who have kept me deep within the core of their heart. Like Hanuman, when he tore open his chest, what they saw inside was Sitaram. Normally, what do you have to say? Family, property, all these things are there. All conditioned souls. We have to replace Mattugati Antaratmana and Shraddhavan Bhajate Umam. Great faith. They are worshipping and serving Krishna. Shraddhavan Bhajate. Same Yuktatamo Mataha. This is my opinion, Krishna is saying. So Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate. Prabhupada explained in one place. In the beginning, one will be very much attached to his work. Maybe job or doing business, this, that, very attached. All right, carry on. No problem. Give your results to Krishna. So first with karma, you will come to Krishna, karma yoga. It's not perfect, but it's one level karma you will start linking with Krishna, giving some donation, karma yoga, gradually. Then after that, he will want to understand knowledge. He will come and attend classes. In temple or online, like this, they begin to hear, they acquire knowledge. So from karma to jnana, jnana to dhyan, meditation. Then after that to seva, rendering service to Krishna. So that is the ultimate bhakti yoga. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So after that, Prabhupada, next verse, Shukamuni is saying, very important points, all these things. So all different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfectional benediction, which is spontaneous attraction.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So once again, all the different kinds of worshippers of multi-demigods can attain the highest perfectional benediction, which is spontaneous attraction, unflinchingly fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only, this is all possible, only by the association of pure devotees of the Lord. So one can develop this spontaneous attraction, unflinchingly fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How is this possible? Only by the association of pure devotees. Of the Lord, not others. Lord means Lord Krishna. So this association is such an important thing, associating with devotees. So in Rupa Goswami, in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he has described about 64 items for devotional service. Out of that, he says 5 are compulsory. One has to do these 5. 64 not possible, at least 5 have to be done. And the first one is Sadhu Sang. Second is Bhagavata Shravan. Third, Nama Sankirtan. Fourth, Sri Murti Shraddhena Sevana, worshipping the deity with faith. And fifth is Mathuravas. I will not discuss these things. So out of that, Sadhu Sang, association of devotees. Very, very important. All the change that will come about is by association of pure devotees. Sangat Sanjayati Kam. By the association, we develop desires. See, in everyone, there are the seeds of material enjoyment. Or you can say spark of material enjoyment. When we go into association with materialistic people, so those desires they get fanned. Just like you fan, the spark starts burning more. When you go into association with all materialistic people, go for some wedding, some big party, and you see their jewelry, dress, this, that, so many things. Oh, wish you and I had all this. All material desires, they start getting fanned. They start becoming strong by such association. So when you come in the association of devotees, spiritual desires, they will get fanned and they start becoming strong. So association with devotees is very, very important. With this, only everything is possible. Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischala tattva, jivan mukti. साधु संग सर्व शास्त्र कहे लव मात्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि होए. Okay, I will not discuss all these points now. We will go further. Then the 12th verse which we discussed yesterday. Transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpool of material modes. Waves and whirlpool. Waves are coming. Satuguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Whirlpool. In the ocean, somebody gets stuck in that whirlpool. Drown, peace, death. In the Bhagavad Gita purport, Prabhupada writes there, 18.58th verse, Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi atah chetvam ahankar na sosati vinakshasi. Krishna is very clearly saying, those who are conscious of me, mat chitta, Sarva Durgani Mat Prasada Tarishyasi. Durgani means difficulties. One can overcome all difficulties by the mercy of Krishna. Those who are conscious of him, Mat Chitta. Sarva Durgani Mat Prasada Tarishyasi. Ata Chetvam Ahankar. And if one works according to his ego, Ahankar, Na soshasi, vinakshasi, not listening to me. So Krishna is giving instructions three ways. One is, he is there within, Paramatma, he is instructing. Second is, from the Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad, he is instructing. Third, from the spiritual master and from devotees. And if we neglect these things, what will happen? Na soshati, vinakshasi. So Prabhupada is writing there in the purport, one will be lost in the whirlpool. Same word he has used there, whirlpool of birth and death. Now we have got chance. We have got choice. We can choose to listen to what Krishna said and act accordingly, or no, reject. Duryodhana rejected. Dushasana rejected. Karna rejected. Dhritarashtra rejected. All these fellows rejected. And what happened? Vinakshasi. Pandavas, they accepted. And they were victorious. Prahlad, Dhruva, all great devotees, great acharyas, Madhvacharya, Prabhupada, Ramanujacharya. Everyone, they follow the instructions of the Lord. So after Krishna gave the whole instruction of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, what did Krishna say in the end? Iti te jnana akyatam ghuyat ghuyataram maya vimrishayatad asheshena yate ichasi tata kuru. Hey Arjun, I have instructed you everything now. Itite jnanakyatam ghuyad ghuyataram maya, most confidential knowledge, everything I have told you. Vimrishayat dasheshena, deliberate on it fully. Yate ichchasi tata kuru, you act as you like. And in reply, what did Arjun say? Nashta moha smritir laptva tat prasadat mayachyuta sthito asmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava. My illusion has gone, nashta moha smritir, my memory has been regained. All this by your mercy, tat prasadat mayachyuta. Sthito asmi, now I am firm. Gata sandeha, no more doubts. Karishe vachanam tava, I will do only what you have said. Arjun did that and life became perfect. Already perfect only. Just to set an example to us. Again Arjun did that. Perfect. Similarly, now if we want to make our life perfect, we have to follow what is being told. Then our life becomes perfect. So all this knowledge, transcendental knowledge, what it results in complete suspension of the waves and whirlpool of material nature, modes, Satguna, Rajaguna, they overcome all that. Such knowledge is self-satisfying. Vidya Vadu Jivanam, yesterday I explained, Anandam Buddhi Avartanam. They become self-satisfied. Due to its being free from material attachment. No more material attachment. This is real knowledge. See, there are different degrees of knowledge. Now somebody who is an ignorant person, Prabhupada says a well-dressed fool, don't know how he is, but the moment he begins to talk, then we can understand this person is a fool. Now somebody else, he may talk nicely. Just like there are so many people who speak, good orators, who speak on different subject matter, lecturers, professors, politicians, film stars, sports stars, very good. They speak on that subject very nicely. They have knowledge of that particular field. Second level. Third is one who has real knowledge. It's mentioned here. Being freed from all material attachment. This is transcendental knowledge. One who has got transcendental knowledge, he becomes free from all material attachments. Difference, you can say. Material knowledge, they'll be attached to their knowledge, their possessions, everything they are attached. But spiritual knowledge, real knowledge, such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment. And being transcendental, it is approved by authorities, great authorities, all the 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manu, Prahalada, Janako, Bhishma, Balir, Vyasakir, Vayam, and all the great acharyas. They are all Mahajans only. They are all great authorities. Who could fail to be attracted? That is the 12th question. So everybody should be attracted to hear Krishna Katha, Hari Katha. So today's verse, Shaunaka is asking now, Suta Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva's name here is mentioned as Vyasakim. Vyasaki means the son of Vyasadeva. Srila Shukadeva Goswami was a highly learned sage and was able to describe things in a poetic manner. See, all these things are sung. Poetic manner. That's why it's known as Bhagavad Gita. It is a song. Everything is a song. All these verses have to be sung. Poetic manner. And in the spiritual world, each moment a dance, each word a song. Katha Ghanam Natyam Gamanam Api Vamshi Priyasaki. So in a poetic manner, what did Maharaj Parishit again inquire from him after hearing all that he had said? So Parikshit made those two questions I discussed in the beginning. Shukamuni answered all that. So after this was all over, what was further Parikshit's questions, inquiry? So purport is short, I'll read it and we can finish here. A pure devotee of the Lord automatically develops all godly qualities, and some of the prominent features of those qualities are as follows. So pure devotee, what does this pure? Pure means what? Pure ghee, 100% pure ghee. Everything mixed in that. Packet they have put pure. Here pure devotee means what? 2 points I have always mentioned. One is they do exclusive worship only of Krishna. They don't go to this Devi, that Devi, this demigod, that demigod. No. They'll have respect for everyone. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the time Krishna, nothing else. Respect for everyone. Surrender and worship only Krishna. Okay, this is one sign of a pure devotee. Another is they render service. In return, they never expect anything. Ahaitukya apratihata. Unmotivated, uninterrupted devotional service. This is pure sign of a pure devotee. A pure devotee of the Lord automatically develops all godly qualities. This is another verse wherein it says, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunestatra samasate suraha harava bhaktasya kuto mahat guna manoratena sati dhavatu vahi. Those who are pure devotees, and the word used there is Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. Akinchana, nishkinchana, both meaning same. Kinchana means there are others also for me. Krishna is one of them. I have got many other Devi, Devtas, and I have got so many friends. My family, they will protect. And I got very highly influential political leaders. I have got commissioner of police. So many such things are there. This is kinchana. Akinchana, nishkinchana means only Krishna. Arjun says in one verse, Krishna, Krishna, Mahabhava. Bhakta nama bhayankara, tvam ekam dhayamanaya. Samsarga. Tvam ekam. You are the only one for us. Nobody else. This is nishkinchana, kinchana. So, they develop all godly qualities. Yasyasti bhaktir, no. The verse I quoted now, samasate suraha. They have all the godly qualities. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahat guna. Those who are not devotees of Krishna, what good qualities they have? Manoratena sati dhavatu bhai. Whatever comes to their mind, they go on doing. Example, Pandavas one side, Kauravas another side. Prahlad one side, Hiranyakashipu another side. So many comparisons you can see. Devotees of God, all yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunestatra samasate suraha harav bhaktasya kuto mahatguna manoratina sati dhavatu bhai. So some of these prominent features of those qualities are as follows. So Prabhupada is mentioning those qualities, some 26 in number. He is kind, peaceful, truthful, equable, faultless, magnanimous, mild, clean, non-possessiveness, a well-wisher to all, satisfied, surrender to Krishna, without hankering, simple, fixed, self-controlled, a balanced eater, sane, mannerly, proper etiquettes, prideless, grave, sympathetic, friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. We'll discuss on this tomorrow. Out of these 26 prominent features of a devotee, as described by Krishnadas Kaviraj in his Chaitanya Charitamrita, the qualification of being poetic is especially mentioned herein in relation to Shukadeva Goswami. The presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam by his recitation is the highest poetic contribution. He was a self-realized learned sage. In other words, he was a poet amongst the sages. So among these 26 qualities, Prabhupada is talking about poetic. So the way Shukamuni recited the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada is writing here, is the presentation of Srimad Bhagavatam by his recitation is the highest poetic contribution. So we'll discuss on these points tomorrow, and then we will go to the 14th verse. Okay, we'll stop here now. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.